station. Heed the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios. I am Aaron Phillips, along with my partners in crime here at the desk, of course, is Mr. Matt Mullen. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent. Well, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. Of course, noticeable by his absence, although I wish we had a picture we might be able to just simulcast up there. Mr. Scott Hosey is not here tonight, but of course, sitting in the steel cage, which we're trying to get locked in right now, our contestant, our opponent, or whatever you want to call him, our bellboy. He's getting locked in over there. Mr. Jason Piper is sitting in the steel cage. How are you, sir?
How are you?
We're doing okay. Can you want to test that again? We're good?
Hello, hello,
hello.
hello.
There you are.
There he is.
There he is. Love the look at the steel cage. We even have a sign behind
Someone
you
get
now.
the padlock.
Yeah, really. He can't. The unfortunate thing is if you notice, the fencing is about 3 feet high, so even he can climb out over that. So there's no way to keep him trapped.
I'm short?
No, I'm saying the fence is. We need an elimination chamber so he can't get out. That's what we need. All right, welcome to everybody to Thoughts Count Anywhere. As always, sorry for the delay to get on the air tonight. We just had some minor difficulty, technicalities. We had earthquakes all over. Did you hear that today? Another earthquake in Cali today.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm waiting for the big one so we have beachfront property.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we really will become the 9th suburb of Hawaii, right?
Surfing.
Surfing USA. All right, our phone number, 702-329-6947. Out of the country, 855-502-4321. Of course, tweet us. Live tweets always available. Hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere. Send us your message, your comments, and of course, chat rooms, folks. They are. If your name is there, you are. I see the chat rooms live right there. We'll take care of you. Listen, we got so much information tonight. We got so much to cover, guys. I don't even know where you want to start, but I know this. I hear voices. There you go.
Where?
Yeah. Who?
Today.
That's right. I consider myself. All right. First topic. Go for it. Can you raise my mic just a bit? I sound a little muffled when you get a chance. Go
There's
ahead.
rumor on Monday night, after Monday Night Raw,
Yes.
with Ruby Riott trying to come after Liv Morgan, of like friendly trying to come up to her. Maybe there's the 2/3 of the Riot Squad might get back together because they have nothing else to do. So
They don't.
they got to throw something at them, either of them.
Has the book or the door been closed on Ruby Riott possibly being a Messiah disciple soon? I don't know.
If it hasn't happened yet, I don't think it's going to.
Okay. With Extreme Rules coming up soon, is that possible, or is that too far out?
I was kind of waiting on Raw for Dominic to hit Ray.
I think
As soon as he
everybody
kept
was.
getting behind him, I was like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was really shocked it didn't. Maybe they're waiting for like a pay-per-view or something.
I think there was a lot of talk about that online that
Yeah.
everybody was surprised. Were you expecting it, Jason?
I was figuring out that. Oh, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
I can hear you.
The Ray, like Matt said, Dominic standing behind Ray. You literally thought something was going to go down, and it just didn't happen.
Is this going to be one of these things that they've been doing with Bailey and Sasha for all these years, teasing it, looking like it's going to happen, and then take it away?
Probably.
Most likely, or they're waiting for some big payoff. Maybe when like the crowd start back up.
Yeah. Well, when, who knows? If people keep testing positive in the Performance Center, however, for COVID-19, who knows what's going to happen? More
Yeah, I
tests
know.
today, apparently.
Yeah, they've been. I guess they're filming SmackDown Friday and Monday Night Raw on Saturday, and they're testing everybody today and tomorrow morning to make sure everybody's clear to get in the building.
Crazy. Now, I know we have this later on, but one thing I want to kind of coattail with our conversation is the news today that broke out about Sarah Logan. We might as well talk about it here.
Yeah.
And what was that? What was the breaking news with Sarah today?
That she basically said she's done with pro wrestling for a while. It's all she's known since she was 17. But with like the Viking lifestyle her and her husband live, the half of the Viking Raiders, that she wants to like do hunting, fishing, and do a bunch of other stuff she's been interested in. So she
Interesting.
has all the time in the world to do it now.
Why not? Why not? Want to remind everybody, if you're not watching us on Facebook, you can, of course, watch us on YouTube. You can, of course, watch us on GoLive.Vegas. You can listen to us on the Go Live Vegas mobile app. You can watch us on Twitter, Periscope, Twitch. I think that's about it, right? 7 or 8.
I made things so easy to watch
Talk
our
about
show.
that. Yes, go.
You don't even have to type anything. If you have an Alexa or Google speaker, all you have to say is, "Hey Google" or "Hey Alexa, play Thoughts Count Anywhere," and you'll hear our voices come out of your speaker.
As if we were there. Now, is that the live show or is that a podcast?
It'll play the last episode.
Okay, so they won't really be listening to this one
No,
until
no.
it's done.
Once it's like uploaded onto the things, you
Gotcha.
say "Play Thoughts Count Anywhere," and our last episode will start playing
Right on.
automatically.
You can still hear us.
In the meantime, you can watch us live or hear us live on any of those previous formats. Of course, as well, Go Live Vegas mobile app, GoLive.Vegas, the website, and Twitch. But I had something else I was going to say that it was going to kind of coattail that, and I don't remember now.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. All right, 702-329-6947. You know, big topic today, and I guess maybe because of, well, there's also the anniversary of a certain wrestler, which we'll talk about. Big talk on radio today about heel lists. Top 5, I saw it on, I don't know if we copied it or, shared it, but there was a lot of conversation about like top 5 heels today. Was there something special about heels today that I missed in the news? I'm just asking.
Not that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
I was so busy at work. I had enough time to like type this, and
I know you had a
I looked
blackout
up-
today. You had a
our power
outage.
was out for like 5 hours.
ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com, by the way, is our website, which, by the way, Matt has done a yeoman's job in getting that ready. And, I mean, it's great. A lot of information on there. Links, byline, stories, you name it. Everything is out there on the website, so give it a look-see. And we were popped today by somebody within a podcast world. Somebody liked our stuff. Chris Brown was his name, I believe. Was that link you shared with me from that other podcast?
Oh yeah, we got a couple of good reviews,
Yeah.
and I'll put them up on the Facebook thing, and
Right
give us a
on.
5-star review if you like what you hear.
Aaron, you're being called out by Chief again.
Am I really? Wait a minute. I have to get over to my live video comments. Where is he?
He literally says this, and I quote, "When is my match, you pencil neck geek?"
Oh, I see it. Well, it was supposed to be tonight. You didn't show up. You didn't show up, Chief. That's it. Tonight was it. You didn't show up? Sorry, dude. You lost your chance.
We have a new watcher on
You
Thoughts
guys
Count.
kayfabing it on Saturday?
We have Ice Williams is watching Thoughts
Ice-
Count Anywhere.
Ice.
The FSW hardcore champion.
no limits.
No
Right
limits
on.
champion.
Oh,
is
he
watching.
better not come crashing through this door for my Aaron Phillips title belt because I don't have it with me. So, anyway, welcome. Thank you for watching, Ice. By the way, you'll notice a QR code just popped up. So, anytime during the live airing or a replay, just put your phone up to the screen, and that'll also take you right to our website as well. All right, next topic. Shayna Baszler was probably the hottest commodity coming into WWE next to Ronda Rousey in terms of from the MMA. You had the 4 horsewomen and all that stuff going on. Big push over the last year, and then all of a sudden, dropped like a hot potato. What's going on with that?
It's just not Vince's cup of tea, I guess. It's not that hot blonde that Vince seems to like. It seems like Triple H always wants to push like the best wrestlers and do what he's got to do on NXT and puts out like an amazing show. And then as soon as Vince gets a hold of them, they can have the biggest push in NXT, and then all of a sudden they're straight on the jobbers list. I don't get it.
I don't understand it either. I think, would it not be fair to say that that was sort of expected when she didn't beat Becky? I mean,
Kinda. I thought they would just delay it a little, but she hasn't been on TV in weeks.
not at all. Not at all. It hasn't been on TV at all. I don't know.
We don't get Shayna Baszler, but we get Lana. That should say some things.
But you just talked about it. Blonde hair and Vince's typical female design, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that says it right there. Chief says in there she's not selling merchandise, right? And that's something Scott always says, right? That merchandise.
Sell merch.
That's right. So,
Does she have any to sell?
I don't know. Does she?
Who?
Shayna?
Yeah, she's got the shirts.
She has like a shirt.
She's got actually 2 shirts. And she has, as well as 2 shirts, she's got. How about now?
There you go.
Oh, I was able to hear him.
I heard him.
But maybe it was better that it was off. I don't
2
know.
shirts, she's got the side plates for the belt.
Yeah.
So, and she's got pictures.
So she's had that belt. She had the NXT belt for like over a year. And now she's sitting backstage doing nothing. And now another certain wrestler's gone. So what are they going to do?
And what certain wrestler would that be, pray tell?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yes, she's, well, we'll talk. I don't want to get ahead of our, it's the first item. Next topic. Might as well segue right into it. Jeez, if I'd have read the run sheet better. Yeah, so Charlotte was written off of TV this past week due to an alleged shoulder injury, which some reports said it was a little of a collarbone issue. There's a little uncertainty as to what the injury, and I'll put that word in quotes, really is, whether it's an injury, or if it's an elective surgery injury. But we know in the past she lost time because of breast implants imploding, and she had to have them redone. Rick says, what was some of the information Flair said about it today or yesterday?
Flair said she should take much time off as she wants because she has TV shows coming for her, fitness companies, and she has a bunch of other stuff she could do besides wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But with the absence of Becky Lynch and now Charlotte, Raw's in need for some talent.
Well, I mean, what's the over... Go ahead.
Or push other people because it's been the Charlotte and Becky show for 4 years now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's her name too? Blair, the long ponytail.
Bianca Belair?
Belair. She hasn't been seen either.
No.
You know, ever since she made that connection with the Street Profits of WrestleMania, there was that expectation. Nothing happened. That done fizzled out. So I don't know, but you're right. Again, part of this is the WWE is hamstrung by the wrestlers who can't travel or choose not to travel because of the COVID situation. So,
yeah.
You know, Kevin Owens now had not traveled for a couple of weeks. He was not at the recent tapings because of the latest outbreak last week, et cetera. So, I mean, this is really tying a lot of people's hands. So let me ask you guys this, and our viewers and everybody out there as well. Is WWE presenting the best possible shows they can with the talent that they have available to them? I mean, that's kind of where really what we're at. Are they making chicken salad out of chicken? You know what?
It feels like they're trying to stretch. They're trying to stretch it out, and unfortunately, it's bringing back repeat champions because now we have Sasha getting a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, okay, now we really got to just try and have more people come out.
Yeah, it seems like with like I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 people they have on the roster currently for both shows, they're trying to make like the best of what they're doing. But when like Paul Heyman was in charge of Raw, you can clearly tell he was like looking towards the future, trying to bring smaller talent up to the main event level. Now they're just shooting for ratings. Like Christian's back, Ric Flair's back.
Right. Now you have, of course, Vince McMahon coming out saying that Andrade is like the second coming of Eddie Guerrero. I mean, is that pressure?
That was Angel Garza.
I mean, Garza. I'm sorry. They have a G. Angel Garza. But, I mean, is that a little too much pressure for Garza? I mean, and is that pushing aside Andrade, who, of course, is Charlotte's other half here? What does that say? If anything.
I can see the comparison for sure between him and Eddie because he's got like the Latino heat kind of thing, like when Eddie first came up, he's charming everybody, and Angel Garza's definitely got the moves too. So I can totally see how they see that. And
We have a call.
All right, we have a caller on the line. I know who it is. I don't know if I want to take the call, but because I still respect this man. Chief, what's going on?
Chief.
Hey, good evening, guys. I got a quick question, and Aaron, I send it in to you. Does Raw, SmackDown, and NXT all have different writers? And if they do, in my opinion, NXT has the better writers for the simple fact what you all said earlier. Vince tries to stifle the people that come up to the main rosters, where, to me it looks like Triple H is giving them a little bit more leniency down at the NXT level.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I want to make a point in conjunction with that because we're talking about talent for Raw and SmackDown. Heck, you got all these NXT people standing around in the audience. Why not interject them, even if they job to somebody? Get them on Raw, SmackDown. Now's the time to start presenting these talents as well, not just on a Wednesday night. Why not?
True, you always see like Aaliyah in the crowd,
Yeah.
or Jesse, or the other two of the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah. Now, I believe there are different writers for each show, but now they're all under Pritchard.
Now Raw and SmackDown are under Bruce Pritchard, and I think from what I've read last, Road Dogg from DX is the head of creative for NXT.
And it has always been said, Chief, and I know you've seen this as well, NXT has been more successful because Triple H is ahead of it, is the head of it. Vince McMahon is not involved with it.
That's how I feel, guys. I totally agree with you. Listen, I'm out. I'm going to enjoy listening to the show.
All right.
Thanks, Chief.
All right. We'll see you next time, Chief.
How's it going, guys?
All right, buddy. Thank you. Ryan Smith in
Bye-bye.
the chat room also mentions, let's see, think Charlotte and Andrade going to go get married while she's gone? Then he also says, and this is why they needed to not just build around the WWE 4 horsewomen, they needed to build up Bianca, Liv, Ruby, etc. Biggest stars now are who? Alexa, Sasha, and Bayley. Hell, have Scarlett.
2 of those are the 4 horsewomen too.
Right, exactly. Have Scarlett wrestle some NXT. Have Scarlett wrestle down there.
Yeah, she was signed a lot sooner than
Earlier,
Karrion
yeah.
Kross, and they said she's been working on her wrestling this whole time. She was already a good wrestler, so I can't wait till they unleash her on the NXT women's roster.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do with that is they're going to wait until Karrion does his thing and make sure he's.
Her versus Rhea Ripley. I want to see that.
Oh, that'll be a good match. 855-502-4321 if you're out of the country. 702-329-6947. Send us a tweet using the hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere. What do you say we step aside for our first break?
Sure.
You guys ready? We're
Yeah.
a little off kilter on our time, but we'll get everybody taken care of. All right, when we come back, we got more WWE news, and of course, we will get into the hot topic of the week, and that is a lot of allegations going around. We'll give you our take on that in a little bit. We'll be right back. For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
Hello. Welcome back to TCA. By the way, Burnt Offerings is great for your pay-per-view tailgate parties and things like that, too. Great food. 1 year anniversary coming up for them. We're going to be celebrating July 7th from 6 to 7 p.m. at Burnt Offerings. Time to Vegas crew will be there, but of course, reservations are going to be recommended because there's only 2 seatings, fellas, 5:30 and 7:30. And the premier showgirls will be in attendance. Ooh. Yes. But
Fine, I'll come. I'll come.
all right, yeah, right. Twist your arm. Right? Although they'll be in gowns. They won't be not in the traditional, but they'll be in gowns and very respectful of the
All right, Jason, you want to go to Chili's instead?
stuff. Ryan suggests this is an interesting matchup: Scarlett and Cross versus Keith Lee and Mia Yim. Why not do it?
I could see it.
Do the in real life couples mixed tag. That's interesting.
I'd
Two
be down.
powerhouses on the men's side, and who's that guy that went up against Cross tonight on NXT? Never heard of that.
Some
guy.
fool that challenged him. That was
All
a bad idea.
There you go. All right, next topic, WWE Report, Undertaker. All right, Last Ride, Chapter 5. It was highly speculated.
There were man tears.
There were man tears. Yes, there were. Yes, there were. That's enough said about that report, ladies and gentlemen. There were man tears. But listen, that was widely expected coming out of that last and final piece of that thing. But again, he left the door open. Right? He said at the end, if Vince calls me in an emergency, I'd have to listen.
Break glass in case of
This
emergency.
may be an emergency.
Yeah, but you wouldn't bring it back. Again, I mean, I'm happy for the guy. He made the announcement. He's come to peace with it. But boy, I would have loved to have seen him do that like at a WrestleMania with 100,000 people in the crowd. I would bet it would be the longest chant and standing ovation on record.
Especially if people know it's his last match.
Oh.
Like if he pre-announced it, there'd be a chant during the whole match. It didn't even matter what they would do.
Exactly. It wouldn't matter who he'd be wrestling. He could just stand there and tap himself out or something, and then the crowd would go
It'd
wild.
be one of the biggest pops in wrestling history.
I would totally agree. Totally agree.
You know what popped me during that thing though? Undertaker does something I do. Every time like you throw something in the garbage, you're like, Kobe.
Oh yeah, it's good from the outside. Yeah, that was. Listen, this has been 7 years in the making because
Yeah.
the first segment was back in 2013, which is kind of interesting because here's a guy who didn't break character for almost 30 years,
Yeah.
but yet 7 years ago they had the foresight to think about doing something like this in advance for this type of documentary. I mean, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I just find the timing on that pretty. I don't want to say bizarre, but it worked out.
He's been saying he's wanted to retire since like WrestleMania 26. He told Shawn, he goes, I should have left with you.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And then, of course, the monumental moment when he laid his cap and jacket and gloves down after the Reigns match and everything that came out of it. But he's left it open. And, of course, now other articles come back out. If he does come back for one last ride, who do you want it to be? You got everybody from AJ Styles again to The Fiend to Seth Rollins' name I remember seeing on the list. Then the other question is, who inducts The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame?
Vince.
Thoughts?
Vince. Because it can't be Paul Bear.
No, but I put out there Paul Bearer's son.
Ooh.
But if The Undertaker has been hiding like his whole thing for 30 years,
Maybe Paul
and
Bearer's
he's just
alive?
and he's just now like coming out of like all of his like personal stuff.
Right?
Vince is the person that's always backstage. You never see him at the Hall of Fame. He tells people specifically, do not mention me.
Right. 'cause
This
he
is
wants
for
it
your
on there.
friends and family and all
Right.
that. So it'd be like the perfect thing for Vince to come out and be like, here's The Undertaker.
And look at how on the last ride, every time you saw the photos of Taker walking near Vince, it's always a hug or how'd I do, sir? He's always asking Vince's advice.
Or even when they were asked Vince and they're like, how do you feel about The Undertaker? And he started crying and cut the cameras off.
Right.
Yeah.
He also had man tears.
He had a lot of man tears.
Taker tears. He had TTs.
Dead man tears.
702-329-6947. Who would you recommend to, or who would you want to see induct The Undertaker? And if he's done, which doesn't matter for some of these guys when they're inducted, should he be inducted next year?
It'll be in LA and I'll be there, so yes.
Personal,
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, right, exactly. Personal. Maybe that's something that TCA goes on the road for if that happens.
Down like a rodeo
We can
clown.
do it.
You can do it. We need some sponsors.
Sign me up.
We need some sponsors to get us there, but that'll be fine. But that would be, listen, whether it's Vince or, I don't know, some Bruce Pritchard's name came up as well. Listen, he even threw a shell out there, a bombshell, whatever you want to call it. Or here, Chief, how about the mayor of Knoxville, Kane? I mean, but he was probably the original Paul Heyman guy. We all
Yeah.
forgot about that way back in the day.
Right.
Paul, I mean,
WCW, Paul Heyman was his manager.
and saved his job because he was with what's his name, Spivey for a while. They had that gimmick as tag team, but he was jobbing. He wasn't doing anything, and Heyman gave him a great piece of advice and took him under his wing and was really the first one. So I don't know. Be a great question. But to me, if he is done, and I'll put that word in quotes, he should go. They should put him in next year because you know why? They're going to need the pop to bring people back if there's going to be an outside or people attending an event. They're going to need that for that weekend.
To go to WrestleMania, they tell me to wear a hazmat suit. I'll buy one. I don't care.
Yeah, people will do strange things to get there, right? Chief agrees with that. If you have any thoughts or comments, guys, put them into the chat room. Send us a tweet who you think should induct The Undertaker, or better yet, man, we'd love to hear you on the phone. Give us a call, 702-329-6947. Or you can even put it on our Facebook chat room after the show. We'll be happy to read through them and give you our comments on that. Okay, next topic. This is one I didn't know till I read the run sheet. Elias may be out with an injury until after WrestleMania 37.
I was today years old when I learned that.
Today years.
I had no idea he was injured like that until I read that.
Any idea as to what the injury is? Or?
Pectoral muscle.
Yeah, wow. Didn't Triple H have a pectoral tear years ago?
Yeah, him
or was
and
it John Cena? Right?
Cena came back like really early.
Yeah, he came back much faster than everybody expected. But you're talking about a year here, roughly about a year. Let's see. Wow. I don't know, and it's unfortunate because the last couple of years, Elias started getting that push, and then fell back, and then did it, and then came back again. Obviously, they're going to have a year to reset the timetable with him if he's able to come back at all. But this was a guy who had thus far, in my opinion, his potential levels has not even been sniffed at.
No, not at all. He was getting over real good.
Yeah.
Either with being a face or a heel, like either people hated him or loved him.
But
nobody was ever silent.
People still watched him, and he was entertaining.
Oh, the song. I mean, how can you not be entertaining when you're sitting in the ring singing and everything? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that whole gimmick, that whole thing started, and the song. But still, I mean, I just hope whatever they do with him when he's healthy to come back is something that they give him an opportunity because he looked like a beefed up Randy. Randy Savage. Everybody was compared with the elbow off the corner. He just looked like a beefier Randy Savage before Randy got buffed towards the end of his career when he was in the Spider-Man movie. But I would love to see this guy get packaged and do something great when he comes back.
Yeah, definitely. I loved when they were in Seattle and he took a shot at the Supersonics and him and Owens got booed for like 10 minutes.
Yes, I remember that.
That was great.
Because he was just entering and having the feud with Baron Corbin not too long ago, which was a heck of a feud with the two of them. And then that was that. So, all right, next topic. All right, somebody touched on this before in one of our earlier comments, the way that the writers have been writing more for ratings than for creative purposes for the wrestlers. Good idea, not good idea. Thoughts?
Good idea for the short term, horrible idea for the long term. Because what are they going to do in all these? You can only bring these legends back for so long. You got to start pushing these new guys so people have something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason?
Definitely need new people to be the key for titles. You can't just have the same people. Like one of the things, Dolph Ziggler's back on Raw, gets a title shot against Drew. Really?
Well, but yeah, and they're playing off of their relationship when Drew came back and all this other stuff as well.
That popped me hella hard, Big Daddy Claymore.
Yeah.
But in conjunction with that about shows, look what's happening. Look what Fox is doing to the Backstage show.
Gone.
It's gone. Yeah. I mean, CM Punk has not been on the show to what I think anybody nearly thought. It's a puff show because they're really not letting the folks, Renee and everybody there, they're contracted under WWE. I don't care that it's a Fox show or not. They're not going to go out there and talk openly about what their thoughts are because, here's a show that now is gone. They need a show like ours on there.
Hell yeah. Sign us up. WWE Network at us.
There you go.
ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com.
Absolutely. Listen, we'll do it for pizza and a beer. Survivor Series, Ryan puts in there. Since Survivor Series this year is the 30 years after his debut, if live crowds are allowed by November, have him retire at Survivor Series and then announce his Hall of Fame induction. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
He needs that pop. I mean, for him, literally, he is. You're talking about a last ride into the sunset where nobody notices you taking off for the greener pastures. This is it, and this guy deserves more than that.
I've been to a lot of wrestling shows, and like when the Undertaker comes out, you legit get goosebumps. It's a sight to see for sure.
You hear that gong.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You hear that gong, especially at a few of the WrestleManias I've been at, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. Whenever you hear Taker's gong, your hair stands on end, and you know the crowd stands up, and you just get shocked.
It happens to me on TV. But so let me say this about 3 sounds. You guys put them in order, okay? The gong, the glass breaking for Stone Cold, and the start of The Rock's "If You Smell" when he comes out and that starts. Which you order them 1 to 3. 1 being like the biggest goosies down to the 3rd.
Number 1 is Taker.
Okay. Who's number 2?
Number 2 would be The Rock.
Okay. And number 3 would be the glass of Stone
Yep.
Cold? Really?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, what about John Cena's music when you start hearing his stuff? He also.
Bathroom break.
No, when it was the old Cena, absolutely. When it was the old Cena, crowd started to
Tell me
go.
I'm lying if I knock onto the bathroom during a John Cena match. I'm dead serious. Bathroom break.
Thugonomics?
The Doctor of Thugonomics was the biggest pop. His thing he has now, unfortunately, no. The Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, was the best John Cena.
Oh,
was.
yeah, definitely. Were you talking about as far as like goosebump moments or like biggest pop?
Just
Goosebumps.
for you, in
Pops.
order of, pops. I mean, just, for you personally, which is number 1, 2, and 3 as a fan?
Stone Cold, Rock, Taker.
Really?
Because when that glass broke, you couldn't hear like the music anymore.
Okay.
That's all you would hear is the glass break, and people would be losing their mind.
By the way, I want to acknowledge, thank you, Shoshan. I appreciate your comments in there. Shoshan, a friend of mine, I don't know anything about wrestling, so don't have any good questions, but the show and all of you guys are looking hot.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Shoshan. Don't tell Zeev, though, that you feel that way about us. That's her husband. Anyway, is there anybody today in wrestling, when their music hits, that kind of evokes that kind of emotion that comes to mind? Anybody today? Other than maybe Brock?
Before he
Maybe
got,
Brock don't do it.
Not anymore?
No.
Okay.
Before he got rid of Burn It Down, it was Seth.
Okay. But to the level of the other... You notice the other 3 were all from the Attitude Era.
Right.
Think
But as
about
far
that.
as like the fact of like comparing it to those 3, there's really nobody.
Yeah.
But like of like who it is today, it's probably Roman.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one that comes to mind as well. Chief agrees with Ryan's comments about doing the Survivor Series thing. It's just interesting because we're talking about little things within wrestling, just like when people were in uproar when the pyrotechnics went away for a while. People hated the entrances. Here's another one to think. How about Goldberg when he was hot and he was with WCW and you hear the dun, dun, how about that sound when people heard him coming out? Did that do anything in that top 5 for sounds?
That was awesome.
So, and yet I don't think even Seth, even with the Burn It Down, maybe Roman I think is up there, but I can't really think
The
of it.
beginning of Hogan's music.
Hogan's music, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the guitar strum, yeah. But again, that was then. I'm talking about today. Is there anybody today? Maybe Cross's new music when he gets up to the main roster. But there really isn't anybody.
Well, you got Undisputed Era and Adam Cole.
Okay.
That does a decent type pop, but still nothing that
Nothing compares to the Attitude Era.
Not at all.
And that's the biggest thing is everybody's, even Vince, you just said what I was hoping you would say, because Vince is bringing back all these guys that were just on the cusp of the Attitude Era or just after, like Edge, Christian, and keeping them alive with Randy Orton. Now you have Big Show that's in the face of Randy Orton, the Legend Killer stuff again. So we're going to see Big Show probably get head punted real soon too, going back to that gimmick when he was punting all the legends years ago.
Randy Orton's only got so many matches left. I don't want to see him waste his time like going after like all these legends that don't need to be there anyway. He needs to start putting over like the newer guys. They need to make the future. Because we shouldn't be having these conversations of who's the biggest star right now. It should just be like click, 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 click.
It's a great point.
It should be those people.
Great point. 702-329-6947. Join the conversation. If you're outside the U.S., 855-502-4321. Chief puts it out there. What about the galloping of the 4 horsemen?
That was a good one back in the day.
back in the day.
You
But
know, it'd be
that's even further back than the Attitude Era, wasn't it? Little just ahead of, little before the Attitude Era, really, right?
Yeah.
Early 80s?
You know, it'd be a good thing for the Undertaker at Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. Remember, he was talking about how he thought he'd be the gobbledygooker because of the egg. If he like retires, they have to have the egg there solely to mess with him.
That would be fun. Remember Pete Rose was in the Goblet? Was he? Oh, no, he was in the San Diego Chicken outfit at WrestleMania. But that would be that's funny. How about JBL's sound when he was, when he played the rich JBL, and you hear the Wall Street bell cling, 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 and he's white the
I
limo.
hated that guy
That was a lot
so
of
much.
boos. A lot of boos in the crowd.
But it invoked that emotional response, right?
Yeah.
it did.
So
It's
it's just one that came to mind.
It's like you said, Aaron. We can sit here, all three of us,
Yeah.
and we can talk about the Attitude Era and the Legends Era and the icons, but we can't say that about anybody new today.
Right? Absolutely.
Like back in the Attitude Era, it was like, who's your top 10? And everyone would get in like heated arguments, be like, no, it's
Oh
this
yeah,
one. Now it's like, who's your top 10? You're like, you get to like 3 or 4, and you're like,
and you,
hold on, give me a minute.
so I'll be right back. Let me Google that for a
Let
second.
me Google the roster real quick.
Well, when we asked the question about the Mount Rushmore, you notice nobody's got anybody from, let's say, I'll even go 15 years back to 20 years back. Everybody's before that.
Yeah.
The Attitude Era and back is where everybody's going at. Maybe Brock. Maybe some people put Brock on their Mount Rushmore, but the folks that people bring on,
You wouldn't make my anthill.
you can send your comments to Matt at. All right.
At me, I don't care.
There you go. It's just great conversation because we forget about all this stuff. We want the Authority went out there a year or so ago, 2 years ago. What's best for business, and what's going on right now, guys and gals, ain't best for business. Although, again, give the devil its due. Are they doing the best that they can given the circumstances and the performers that are available? That's
Absolutely they are.
part of the
Yeah.
discussion. So, all right, we talked about Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode. Where's he been that he had to be traded to Raw?
Probably sitting next to Shayna Baszler somewhere backstage.
Even Shorty G's been doing stuff while Bobby Roode was sitting
Yeah.
back there. So, all right. So, I don't know. I was just curious. By the way, send us a live tweet. Send us who you think should induct The Undertaker. Whose sound made you get all kind of goosey? You can tweet us at #ThoughtsCountAnywhere. We'll see your tweet show up there on the screen. And if we catch it fast enough, we may even read it. That's why we want you to call. All right, one more topic, and then we'll go take another break. We talked about Dolph getting the title match. Bobby. All right, let's stick with The Undertaker before we go to the other stuff. Favorite Undertaker match or memory? And you can't use the Boneyard match because that's too obvious, especially that was his last match. What would you say?
The Hell in a Cell with with Triple H with Shawn Michaels as a guest referee.
When they all walked out together? Okay.
WrestleMania 26,
Which was, for everybody that doesn't know,
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, career ending.
the career ender.
Yeah,
right?
you were there.
Yes,
He was.
I was.
That's when Michaels came out in the white outfit of
Yes.
the Undertaker, right? Okay. Was it not? Am I not mistaken that Taker thought that Shawn Michaels should have broken the streak at that WrestleMania?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that was like the ongoing thing is he thought Shawn should do it.
Do you think Brock was the right choice to do it at that time at 28 and 0,
I don't
or
think,
21 and 0?
being that I was at that career match, Brock should have never, ever taken the title away from Taker on that. It should have been Shawn Michaels because that match was so eye-drawing where you just sat on the edge of your seat because you didn't know which way it was going to go.
Right.
It could have gone either way, and it was one of the best matches that I've ever seen Shawn and Taker do together in their careers, and it's one that we talk about forever.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
It should have been, if anybody was going to break that streak and Taker was going to say goodbye, it should have been that WrestleMania.
Chief puts into the chat room that he just wanted to mention that apparently Tessa got a good pop today. I guess Tessa was seen on Impact tonight. Is that right? Mr.
Sorry, I was reading a comment.
I
What'd
was
you
going to say Mr. Blanchard over there, Mr. Tessa. It was Tessa on TV tonight for Impact.
Nope, she's still in Mexico.
Okay, well, because Chief says he did good pop today for Tessa, so I don't know if something came
Oh,
out.
I didn't see it yet. I don't know.
Okay, but her name appeared on that dirty list, which we'll talk about in a little bit, which I think surprised a lot of people.
That's so dumb.
I thought it was because of you.
I wish.
I know.
Dogga, don't hit me, I swear.
There you go. All right, we're going to step aside for another quick break. When we come back, we got more items to talk about, and then we're going to talk about all the allegations that have been going around. We'll be back right after this.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
So guys, it's Jeff Cobb here. Come check out Power Play Sports Collectibles. Buy some collectibles, buy some wrestling figures and all that fun stuff. Damas y caballeros, I am Ricardo Rodriguez and I want every single person out there to watch my very favorite show, Thoughts Counts Anywhere, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
Hey, we want to thank Jeff Cobb and Ricardo Rodriguez for those little shout outs there. We appreciate it. Great signing, great time over at Power Play Sports as Scott and Power Play Sports Cards, celebrated 1 year down at the mall over there. So it was a lot of fun. And so also too, Ricardo was over at Versus Pro Wrestling. He did a little seminar over there. So I want to thank the guys for taking a couple of seconds and doing some bumpers for us there.
That's pretty
cool.
funny to watch.
What's that? Him doing a seminar?
He
What?
just the way he had him stretching. I saw a couple of people
Oh.
throw up before they even started
Really?
doing anything real.
Are you serious?
I'm
They were
dead serious.
Oh man, I'm glad that wasn't going on
Another
camera.
one was hiding. Another one was in the bathroom.
Holy cow.
It was amazing.
Man, I'm glad that wasn't on camera when I was strolling around the mall over there. But okay, next topic. Let's see, Bray Wyatt, bringing back the original Bray Wyatt of the Wyatt family to face Braun Strowman. Is this like Mick Foley? Is this like Matt Hardy now doing all the different flavors of Matt Hardy? That's going to eventually lead to the Fiend. You had the same. See, it's not easy over there, is it, with that microphone?
No, it's
Is this gonna is this gonna lead up to the Fiend and Strowman at SummerSlam? Is that what we're leading up to?
Most likely.
And
I
you-
wonder if they're going to bring back Eric Rowan now that they're teasing the Wyatt family, because that picture they showed up on the screen was just Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't bring Luke Harper back. He's a little busy right now.
A little bit.
Just a little busy. I always liked Luke Harper. It's too bad that Vince, whatever the issue was, I liked him, and he never got a fair chance when he had that Intercontinental belt. Although he was a little bit of a face there,
Yeah.
and I think he was better as a heel than a face. But he was never given a chance with that IC belt.
No, he
But-
should have been like a top star in WWE.
No question whatsoever. All right. I don't know if I really want to talk. Let's see. Okay, next topic. Yesterday was the anniversary of the infamous, or now famous, Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 promo. It's too bad we didn't think about pulling that up and making it available. We could have played a little snippet of it for those who needed a reminder.
Check our website in like 2 hours. It'll be there.
There you go. See the cue? Austin 316, a catchphrase that was just natural, right? I mean,
Everybody had that T-shirt when that came out.
yeah, a lot of people still have it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was going to say, present company included, right?
of course.
Listen, yeah, it's amazing just what one little stop on the dime or change or a little tweak here or there for somebody or something. Hi, Jennifer Ekman, owner of Burnt Offerings.
Hello.
She's in the chat room. We appreciate you tuning in and watching. One little tweak, one little change to Undertaker before he got out of WCW. Stone Cold with the 316. These little things, and look how it just changes somebody's career and trajectory.
Hey, it went from stunning Steve Austin to copying the $1 Million Man to the biggest draw in almost the history of the whole industry.
Absolutely, interesting. But it's the anniversary of that. And on the other side of an anniversary, of course, today's the anniversary of the Chris Benoit tragedy. Was it 13 years now or something since out of 12 years?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right? And of course, it was one of the featured shows on the Dark Side of the Ring this past season on Viceland, which I'm sure if you go to Google it, you'll see it on there. I love that show. I love Dark Side of the Ring. They've done a
There
tremendous.
better be a season 3.
Are they running out of stories? I mean, I'm sure not. But
with everything gone on this year,
that's
I
very
think they
true.
have a whole new season.
That's very. I hate to see the reenactments, though, if you know what I mean. But yeah, listen, it's a great show. The first 2 seasons, I've been very impressed with what they've done with that.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. I look forward to every episode.
And of course, we mentioned this earlier on, but the last piece of news for WWE. The hell, is there cement in there in that one?
Yes.
Thank you.
It was your head.
More people tell. I'm going to send Chief after you, and you'll be sorry. Why am I looking at a black screen on a? Oh, there we go.
Because you're.
We had to
Never
put-
mind.
We had to put another quarter in the slot. That's what we had to do. Of course, multiple, as we talked about earlier, more people tested positive. All right, enough of the WWE report. Let us go to the AEW Impact. Jon Moxley and QT Marshall reported to management that they had a secondhand exposure to COVID, so they will not be on the show this week. Now, secondhand, I find that interesting. Is that like secondhand smoke?
No,
What
it's
the
like
heck is
they were
secondhand?
near, like they're near a friend that had it.
So that's like the contact list that people talk about. If someone has it, you want to know who else you were near. kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Just secondhand. I was kind of thinking secondhand smoke in my mind. I don't know. How does that happen? Okay, so there you're not going to see them on TV. Hopefully they're okay. Next. With Tessa in a 5-way at Slammiversary, what do you think her future holds? Of course, if Scott were here, we kind of know what he would say. At least indirectly, without coming right out and saying it. But is it a foregone conclusion that she will more than likely, if they were betting odds at a sports book, will sign with WWE?
Absolutely.
I think with a couple missing people on the Raw roster, that the Raw women's roster might get a little undeniable.
Right.
If I use her catchphrase.
Gotcha, yes. And would it not be, I mean, her and Charlotte, that would be like a WrestleMania level match, won't you think?
Everybody wants to see this.
Yeah. Eddie, who else would you want to see Tessa go up against on the women's side?
Her versus Rhea Ripley would probably be a really good match.
I'm going to bring Shayna Baszler's name back into that.
Shayna Baszler,
Becky, when and if she decides to return,
Becky, Bliss.
right? And I'm noticing we're skipping around Bailey or Sasha.
I like Sasha.
Sasha?
I can deal without Bailey.
I know you've never liked Bailey.
Good tag team. Charlotte and Tessa for the belts would be a great tag team.
Oh, wow.
Who would be able to take those belts off of them?
Nobody would touch them.
Wow. That's a great idea. Richie from Minnesota's checked in. Richie, how are you, buddy? Glad you're checking in and everything is good up there. Interesting. I guess when you hear a name like Tessa Blanchard out there and the possibilities could be endless, it's just fun thinking about those dream matches of potential.
Oh, I know.
Right? Let's see. Chief confirms it is 13 years regarding the Benoit situation. Philip Campbell says, yes, the Dark Side of the Ring episodes have been very interesting. And Chief says, no Baszler. He does not want to see Baszler and Tessa, although Philip Campbell says he does like Bailey in that match.
Oh, who cares?
I will say, do you give her any credit for her ring attire, how good she looks in her ring attire or not? Bailey, I'm talking about.
She looks all right.
Bailey was Bailey was somewhat better when she was a hugger. Her whole demeanor now just
I didn't say demeanor.
well, her
I'm
whole,
just talk- I'm
her
just
whole
about-
character just is just
She does squats for sure.
yeah.
Okay, I'm being told by our producer in my ear here, he's got a video to show. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Stone Cold Steve. Is this the promo? This is the coronation of King of the Ring. Can they hear the audio out there? Okay, we cannot hear the audio, so I'm going to be quiet and let you guys hear it.
Don't just get him out of the ring, get him out of the WWF.
Is that Jake the Snake going up the side there? I can't tell who
Yes,
that
it
is.
is.
Right? Because that's who he beat.
in the finals.
Right.
You sit there and you
It's funny when he talks, you can just about read his lips and know Stone Cold know what he's saying.
I've heard it enough that I know exactly what he's saying, and I'll need to hear it.
Okay, so then voice it here as he's talking.
That's too much pressure.
He just said it right there. Austin 316 just whooped your ass.
So
He
I don't
just
care
said it
about your
right there.
John 3:16 because Austin 3:16 just whooped your ass.
There you go. There you go. And that is Michael Hayes doing the interview. Of course, now as a backstage producer. All right.
I'm serving notice.
So there you go. There's the video of that. Great history. That's where it all started. All right. I don't think the last item under that AEW Impact report is worth anything. All right. Next topic. All right. This is the one that's going to take a little time, and we've purposely kind of saved it to the end. We would love to get some input on this, but the wrestling industry over the last 5 days, locally, internationally, etc., has been rocked by scandal.
Yeah.
What is it? Hashtag speaking out. Is that the hashtag?
Speak out movement.
Speak out movement, where there's many female wrestlers. As many as 14 have come out with allegations about a particular wrestler. We can name names because it's out there, I suppose. Who's been released. It's affected local performers here in Las Vegas who have roots here, who still perform for BVW or FSW. Versus, of course, is taking a stand because these local guys here regionally in the Indies, they tend to wrestle for all the promotions here in town, the big three more or less.
Yeah.
Allegations, insinuations, apologies, heartfelt, not heartfelt. Guys, I don't even think we've scratched the surface at all on how this is going to be much deeper. And there was a list that came out that I alluded to earlier with some names on there that very shocking to see names on there.
There's definitely some names you're like, no, it couldn't be. But with what they say, you got to assume that
The worst.
got to assume the worst, hope for the best. But there's some names on there you're like, I totally knew that was happening.
Well, somebody made a comment. Anybody who goes into a ring, and I guess this was, about Joey Ryan, who goes in saying that anybody who uses man part as a finisher or as part of a wrestling move, you got to know that there might be issues under there anyway. Right?
Like, was anybody really shocked about that?
Well, and that's the point. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, these names have been out there in public. Sir Jack Gallagher, which I didn't realize he may be connected with this. What's his name? Dave Christ. Is it Chris? However he pronounces his name. I guess it doesn't really matter. Locally news has come out regarding local talent Daisy Cortez. Sandra Moon has spoken out against Vance Thornburg and Owen Travers here for making advances. FSW has taken care of there. Sammy Guevara. Now he had issues with something he said about Sasha Banks a few years back that surfaced, and AEW took care of business there too.
Started.
That's right. Other names. You want to give out some of the other names who've come out through all of this?
Yeah, we got Jim Cornette. He seems to be in every conversation of any kind of controversy ever.
There you go.
Matt Riddle, whose attorney, he had his attorney release a statement. Velveteen Dream, Darby Allin, Marty Scurll. Somebody called out Paige's whole family, said that they were harassed by them. Will Ospreay, Jimmy Havoc, who is now in some kind of treatment. Trent Seven from NXT UK, Jordan Devlin, Justin Roberts, and James Ellsworth.
I was just going to say, the last
That's
name.
the most non-shocking thing I've ever reported on in my whole life.
I totally agree. That was the one.
If there's anybody that's ever going to hit the news for doing something weird like that, it's that guy.
Chief Wood's in the chat room, by the way, to go back to our previous conversation. A true wrestling match. Tessa versus Natalya.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
And
with a local one, did anybody not suspect Sway Thompson of being a complete douchebag? Because if you ever see his social media of delete me if you do this, and he turns out to be the biggest one of them all.
Well, what do they always say? Careful what you wish for?
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that we have gotten to everybody? Do you think we've gotten to everybody on this, or how much deeper is this going to go? And what do you think the result's going to be for the wrestling industry now after all of this?
I think we may have scratched the surface, but it's going to go a lot deeper. I would imagine so. And hopefully it'll put a lot of people in check to... All the women always wanted to be treated equal, and it's about time they do get treated equal instead of like, hey, you do this for me and I'll get you a push here. They should be treated just like the men. You ain't going to go to another...
He's having problems with that microphone. His microphone didn't take the Cialis tonight.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. By the way, okay, never mind. I just answered my own question. I noticed under the names, you're the only one that has your face next to your name as well, but I just noticed my logo's next to my name.
Your name's bigger, too.
No, it's not.
Your
not
name's
here.
bigger on the opening credits.
Yeah,
Shut
exactly. All right. But yeah, I think we have not seen the last of this, and I hope what's going to happen, and we're starting to see it, is the positive reinforcement that wrestling promotions will not stand for it. I want to believe that they've, like most organizations, have always had open door policies for anybody. And Keith Lee made an interesting comment on his Twitter, which I read this morning, that this stuff does not just have to be towards women.
Yeah.
He also had a situation where he was at a bar by himself, enjoying the evening with a drink, listening to music. P.S. A lady comes over, is hitting on him, and he's saying, "No, thank you. I'm blah, 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 blah." He has to get up, go to the bathroom. She says, "Let me buy you a drink." Yeah, okay, comes back. Initially, everything was fine, but then all of a sudden, the room started turning and twisting, and he wakes up back in his room, doesn't know what happened.
Jeez.
So he's and again, listen, abuse and allegations do not just have to be one direction. Okay?
It goes both ways.
It does. Now, 99% of the time, it obviously is reported that it goes one way. But there are those situations, and I'm glad Keith Lee brought that out, that it can happen either way, because you don't know the people necessarily that you're dealing with as a trainer, as an instructor, as a promoter. You're just like anything. You're taking things for face value.
Yeah.
And you just really don't know.
It just sucks. Like, all these women are so scared to come out with these stories that it'll affect their careers and all this other stuff. And we shouldn't be able to. They shouldn't even be put in that kind of situation to be like, "Oh, you have to do this to me to get here." And
now, I will say,
scumbags like that just need to be out of the industry.
absolutely,
completely.
totally agree. Now, listen, wrestling, you have to run a banner. Okay, because I was like right now. Oh, there you go. Does Scott remind you to run it? Okay, all right, there you go. Courtesy of Scott, Big Daddy's watching, July 11th, Power Play Sports Collectibles.
Big Daddy Sports Cards.
That's right. That's a great name. Big Daddy Sports Cards. I love it. Saturday, July 11th, signing over at Power Play Sports Collectibles, former WWE and TNA superstar Sean Daivari, and Daivari when he was in WWE. Autographs are $10 each at the Boulevard Mall Power Play Sports. I'm looking for the time, 10 to 1. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Boulevard Mall at Power Play Sports Collectibles. Sean Daivari will be there. All right.
You could have just asked me there, sir. I do work there.
No, I know you do, but it's more impressive when I try to squint until Aaron brings everything into focus for me to try to read that. And of course, Power Play Sports Collectibles shows Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Pacific, right here in Go Live Vegas. Watch on Facebook. And Scott and I talk about all the happenings in the world of collectibles. By the way, if anybody wants to jump on our bandwagon for promoting either here and or on Power Play Sports, how do people find out about that?
We have sponsorship info on our website, thoughtskountanywhere.com, or you can email us at thoughtscountanywhere.com. I've heard Power Play a lot in the last minute and a half.
It's not easy, is it, when you get all these shows mixed up? By the way, Scott, why are you even watching? You have friends or family that's with you. Why are you worried about what we're doing?
Because he wants to make sure we're not screwing up.
Yeah, but July 11th, we have 3 more weeks.
He's always here. It always happens at the end of the show.
But I know, right? Well, this is not my fault. I don't run the buttons on banners. But we have 3 more weeks. We could have screwed it up. He could have let this week scroll by. We could have caught up next week. But anyway, July 11th, next signing over at Power Play Sports Collectibles. All right, and more information, Power Play Sports Cards. .com. Okay. Any other thing we need to talk about the allegations and stuff? Just stay tuned for more information. As we get it, we'll share it on both our website and our Facebook page.
I think we covered the majority of it, but
so.
With everything coming out recently.
Oh, it's far from done.
When news comes out, check our website or Facebook page. We got thoughts.
Oh, we got thoughts. All right, so that means all we have left, now we're running a little over because we got a late start. We just have pop culture. Baseball. Who's excited for baseball? 60-game schedule.
This guy.
60-game schedule forced upon them because Major League Baseball and the Players Association could not agree on a length of season. So 60 games. I'm happy baseball's back, but 60 games doesn't do anything for me. I mean, it's just not, it's going to be, they're calling it the sprint to the finish or something like that, the race.
Yeah.
10 teams into playoffs. They're going to try to get everything done. Listen, Dr. Fauci says if baseball's not done, including playoffs, by the end of September, they may not be able to finish by October. Great. That doesn't say much for football season either, if that's the case. Football camps are going to open up soon. The Basketball Association is supposed to open back up. But, okay, so they're going back to regional teams, so teams like the way they used to be, like Scott has talked about in the past. You've got, basically you're getting rid of divisions. And then you've got the universal DH. In extra innings, you're going to start with the runner on second base now, which is like a softball league rule. What else are they doing and changing? I don't recall. Those are the 2 that stand out.
That's crazy. I just want to see. It's like, been a Yankee fan my whole life.
Me too.
They finally signed Garrett Cole.
Right.
And now we have to sit here on the sidelines. It's like having that new toy you can't play with. And I just want to see Yankees destroy everybody in 60 games.
But you know what, though? Think about that. 60 games. Garrett Cole, if he does every fourth or fifth game, he's only getting 10 starts. Can they reasonably give out a Cy Young award this year? I don't think so. How can you give out these standard pitching awards on only 60 games?
They can give out the awards. There's going to be asterisks next to all
I
of
wouldn't.
them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Batting titles. I agree with that. And what about your offensive players who traditionally get off to slow starts at the beginning of April? Now you've only got 60 games, and if this is the last year they're under contract and they're facing free agency.
Like the Chris Bryants of the world.
Exactly.
He's like the perfect example of that. He does start off slow and then gradually gets better.
I'm just, listen, Yankee fan too, like you. I'm excited. I want to see, this has been great for guys like Britton and Aaron Judge get better and heal better, and Stanton and all these guys coming back. But 60 games, I don't know if I'm overly
A
excited.
healthy Aaron Judge. Good luck, Major League Baseball.
Exactly. And Garrett
They're
Cole.
back.
You're Yankees. Who cares?
All right, last pop culture topic.
This is an Aaron topic.
Take
it over.
This is one for you, by you.
I didn't
You already
ask-
got the shirt on.
approved by
Come
approved by
on.
Actually,
you.
that's true. I forgot about this being on the list, and I just pulled this out. But I didn't put this on there. I didn't ask for it. He put it on there for
It's
me.
still approved for you, by you, and fan for you.
This message has been approved by the campaign of. Okay, Michael Keaton. Now, is it? I don't think I saw that it was official yet, but they are talking to him.
I'm pretty sure I read it was like they're in serious talks. And
Serious
it's almost,
talks.
It's almost official.
Because then I also read they may even bring Christian Bale in with his Batman as part of some additional. Anyway, Michael Keaton will return allegedly as Batman in the upcoming Flash movie and will also be in other DC movies. Listen, you want me to? I'll give you my rank of Batmans. Number 1 is Adam West, hands down.
Number 2.
Number 2, how about 2 and 2A? Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. The others you can do away with. Okay? Now, because both of the style Batman movies that Keaton was in versus Christian Bale, they were almost different types of Batman movies. Michael Keaton almost carried on the Adam West campy style of Batman that was presented in television.
The Michael Keaton ones are like the comic like versions of everybody.
There you go. Oh, there,
The Christian Bale one is like the real
dark
like,
side.
Like if the Joker was like a real person kind of thing.
Did I just hear something come in the background there? I'm Batman. Is that what I just heard, or somebody say something?
Sorry, you're missing a Batman that I actually have to give credit to, and that's still Val Kilmer.
No way. He was
Yes.
the worst.
No, George Clooney was the worst.
Well, that's true.
Nipple
so
Batman.
He's
Nipple
the,
Batman.
He's the next to last worst. Yeah, Clooney and the nipples. That's all he was remembered for in that movie.
Okay, fine, but Batman Forever did give us 2 really good villains: Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
I will agree with that. Absolutely. As Jim Carrey was probably the best person that could have played that role. I totally agree with that. Tommy Lee did a great job as well, but you really didn't get a backstory on Tommy Lee, which what we know is how he fell into the vat, or
And the
that's the
acid.
Joker. But
The acid that was thrown in his face.
that was the Joker.
No. Acid was in the comics.
That's true.
Acid was
Yeah.
thrown in Two-Face and Harry Dent's face.
That's right.
That made him Two-Face.
Yet in the movie with Christian Bale, he fell into the
Right.
the oil.
The thing
and-
blew up and then
Yeah.
Right.
There you go, right there.
To me, listen, Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
One of the best, besides Heath Ledger.
Oh, Heath Ledger by far.
if Heath
Absolutely.
Ledger would still be alive, they'd be on like the 5th Joker movie by
Absolutely.
now.
Absolutely.
There's no way they wouldn't have made a whole series of movies just off him.
But serious roles. Jack Nicholson has played great roles. A lot of them serious.
Yes.
A Few Good Men, et cetera, et cetera. I think he thoroughly enjoyed the freedom of play. You could just see how much he
Oh.
enjoyed playing that role.
He had so much fun being the Clown Prince, and he made it so believable that you just loved to talk about Joker. It was
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those- it was one of those things where when they said they were going to bring Joker out into one of the new Batmans, there's nobody, and Heath Ledger, he did a good job, but there's nobody that can touch Jack Nicholson on Joker.
Again, different types of
Different-
Jokers presented.
Exactly.
That campy, comic-like style that Nicholson did that you were talking about before versus the real dark side Joker.
I like the
that
Heath
did.
Ledger version better, honestly, but that's me.
Again, different. Different. There he is. Why so serious? And
Different
of course,
strokes for different folks.
There you go.
The one that I think Aaron we would have loved to have seen as a Joker? He had the laugh down pat, Mark Hamill from the
What?
animated series.
But but he does it on the animated. I don't know if he could have physically pulled it off though.
It'd be hard to say. He says in interviews that he loved playing that character. So it's one of those
Yeah.
things. He could have
Yeah,
gave it a good shot, I think.
could have.
He
I
played
would-
a Joker-ish character in the Flash show.
That is true. He
did
played
you
the
think?
Toy Master.
Yeah, he's a toy man.
That's
He's
right.
basically dressed like the Joker.
That's true. That's a great point. That's a great point. The thing is, though, with the Flash movie, what they're also saying is Grant Gustin, who plays the TV Flash guy now, he might not even appear in that because it was supposed to be him and
Ezra Miller.
Right, the kid from the other movie. They were both supposed to be in it, but now Grant Gustin may not even appear in the Flash movie, just him, and then the crossover of all the Batmans. Listen, I would be buying a ticket. I don't care if it's got Batman in it like that. The only Batman you know what, we talked about rating Batmans. Ben Affleck. I did not like him as Batman.
No, he should not have been.
Oh, I
Not
was
at all.
so disgusted
I
when that
agree.
was announced.
The guy with the Boston accent being Batman.
All you had to do was talk roughly, all like this. All
Hey,
through
Aaron,
my-
I feel a new show coming out with just Batman for us.
That's still my favorite scene on The Dark Knight. They're like, what's the difference between you and me, Batman? I'm not wearing hockey pants. That was freaking hilarious.
Jack Nicholson's great line when they're in the art museum when he flies in and flies out with the girl.
Yep.
Where does he get those toys? You know, I mean. So anyway, so yeah, I'm excited. I'll be watching it. Although depending upon whether it's in the movie theater or on demand, who knows? But yeah, that would be great to see that. I actually have. Like,
Boston Batman.
I'm Batman.
I am not Batman.
Makes me hate the Red
I'd
Sox
ra-
just a little bit more.
I'd rather watch the Lego Batman movie than watch him again. God, I'm so glad when he didn't take this role. And listen, the jury's out on the new guy for the new Batman movie. I don't even know
Robert Pattinson.
that guy. He does nothing for me. He doesn't excite. Like when they named Affleck, I wanted to see Liam Neeson. He would have played a great Batman.
That would have been a good Batman.
That would have been a good.
What do you think of the new Batmobile? It's a Charger.
Listen,
And it looks just like a Charger.
if I want to see a Charger, I'll watch NCIS LA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it does the cars after the Batman movies, except for the original one, of course, with Adam. By the way, I get a comment. Michael Keaton and Adam West are both great Batmans. Thank you, Philip. The original one, yeah. There you go. There you go. That's it. Listen, when I went to Universal was it Universal? No, Warner Brothers Studio back in December. They have this whole hall of all the Bat vehicles, except for the original one is in some warehouse somewhere, and there was one other. I forgot which one it was. There was one other, but otherwise, all the other movie cars and the Batcopter, everything they had in this one area display. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. I was in heaven right there. And for those of you who remember the original 1964 Adam West, Burt Ward, when the Batmobile pulls up in front of Gotham City Hall, screeches. Learn something on the tour, and we'll end the show with this because I could talk about Batman forever, and I have an appointment at 9 o'clock. That piece was filmed only one time and reused every episode for 100 episodes. 2, Adam West demanded a stunt double to go running up those steps. He did not want to run up those steps for fear of slipping and falling on the steps. 3rd, is that the new one?
That's the new Batmobile.
Crap, I could draw that on paper in boxcar. That is ugly. Ugh.
It doesn't even
Told
look,
you.
It doesn't even look futuristic.
No.
Nope. That's
No.
the worst Batmobile of all
I
time.
could do that with Lego pieces. That is terrible.
The Lego Batmobile looks cool.
Yeah. But they actually had, at the Warner Brothers studio, they had the backdrop for Gotham City Hall.
Yes.
They had it right there. And I saw it from a distance when we were on the train. The lady says, "Oh, you're a Batman fan?" I couldn't wait till we got over there, man. I ran up those steps. I got my wife's ticket. There's nothing behind there. When they duck in, there's nothing back there.
Yeah.
But you see it on TV that looks like there's about 20 steps that they go running up. There was about 6.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? But they kept it back. Oh, it's so cool. That was crazy good. Thank you for that. Anyway, the first 4 Batman movies I like to watch. Thank you, Philip. Listen, I could watch
We could
Batman
go on
movies.
forever with Batman.
This
I
could be
know.
a whole nother show.
That
Yes,
is.
it is.
So watch us next week. Same bad time, same
Same
bad
bad
channel.
channel.
There you go. All right. Final thoughts.
I'm going home and watching HBO Max. I'm going to watch a Batman movie.
Me too.
There you go.
Me too. Thank you, Richie. Richie's watching. Great show. Thank you very much. We'll see you on Saturday. You know where to find me on Saturdays. Final thoughts.
Same thing. Going home, watching HBO Max, watching Batman.
All right. Me, I'm going home and I'm exercising at 9 o'clock. I have a workout and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I got to get this body back into shape. All right. Scott, hope you're yeah, exactly. And so far, it's not been good results. Maybe if I go put my Batman mask on,
There you go.
I have the cowl. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right.
Think like Batman.
What's that?
Think like Batman.
Apparently, you have to do it on Friday.
I'm Batman. What? On Friday? What's on Friday?
Everybody's mandatory to wear masks after Friday.
Oh, that's a good point.
So wear your Batman mask.
I got to find a Batman mask. All right. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. I'll see you Saturdays from 8 to 1 p.m. this Saturday. You know what I do. We'll see you right here next Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Why am I slowing down? I don't know. Thoughts Count Anywhere right here in Go Live Vegas. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time right here on TCA.
What's up, guys? This is Jeff Cobb. Be sure to listen to my favorite wrestling show, Thoughts Count Anywhere, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. on Go Live Vegas.
For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall.